Done. Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel CodersArcade. I hope I am audible. Okay, so thanks once again for coming back. And guys, today we are again back with our live session in Java, where we will be learning about a very important concept in any programming language, that is the OOPS concepts, or to be frank, it is object oriented programming. Now, before even starting this, I would like to thank everyone who has been supporting us for a long time now. And with this, I think this will be the 19th live session in Java in our channel. And thanks for all your support. And guys, I need one more thing from you guys. I need you guys to motivate us to bring more good content like this for you guys. And at the same time, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are subscribing, okay, because that makes me more motivated to bring better content to you every single day, every single week of the month. Okay, so we are targeting DSA, but before even learning data structures and algorithms, I want to clear up all the basic concepts from the grassroots, so that whenever we are going to DSA, we don't have to stop or lag behind in some concept. Okay, so as I told you already, our approach was something like this. We started with the basics in Java, then we went on to the looping statements, the conditional statements. After that, we learned the methods in Java, and we learned how to take input from the user. All those things we have already learned. Okay, and in the middle, if you think that some part of the explanations were a little bit hasty, you can tell me in the comment section. We can go on with that thing again if you want. Okay, but right now I have not got any comments like that, so we can continue with this. And I thought today I will be starting with recursion, but guys, there is a very important concept in any placement interview questions, that is backtracking. Okay, for that recursion is very important. So because backtracking, the algorithm that we have to learn, is actually based on recursion. So I will take up recursion along with backtracking in a later version of this live sessions. Okay, so for the time being, let's start with object oriented programming. Till now whatever we have done was procedure oriented programming. Okay guys, if you are from C background, anyone who has learned C programming language, we have learned that C language is a object oriented language, C++ is an object oriented language, C language is a procedure oriented language, which is also called as POP. Okay, so in order to get the benefits of object oriented programming, let me just tell you what are the most important benefits of object oriented programming. And right now let me just check if there are any viewers. Just a moment. Okay, I can see that people are joining, so I will just start the things now. So as I said, we will be learning object oriented programming. Now guys, this is a very important concept in any programming language, and the thing is that you will get most of the interview questions in the face-to-face round. See, I will tell you the things. In the first round of your interviews, you will have more or less you will have aptitude. Then after that, you will have your technical or the coding round. After that, if you are actually clearing these two rounds, then you will have the face-to-face round. Okay, where it will be totally technical. In this face-to-face round, we have more or less seen that, see guys, we have taken lots of interviews for lots of students, even mock interviews. If you want to prepare for any interviews, you can just tell us, we can have a one-on-one mock with you guys also. Okay, so my thing is, what I have experienced in the last 10-15 years, I have seen that in the face to face rounds of most of the uh, multiple multinational companies, 90% of the questions are from OOPS concepts. Also, they are from data structures and algorithms, especially the time complexity. And also, they ask you about the algos. So, these are the most important things that you guys have to learn. Okay. And how much of DSA knowledge is required for placements? Learning. Yeah, very good question. I think I don't know the name, but it says learning. Learning is someone who is commenting. So I will really tell you this. That's a very interesting question, by the way. The question goes like this: how much of DSA is required for placements? Yes, this is such an important agenda right now that everyone is bothered about this question. How do you learn DSA and how much of DSA is important? See guys, the first thing that you have to know about this is, before even learning data structures and algorithms, first of all you have to learn the basics. This is very important. It can be any language, okay? So, it can be C, C++, Java, Python, okay? It can be any language, and in some companies I have seen that they even ask JavaScript basics also, okay? So, after learning this, C language is a procedure oriented language. All these other languages, these are object oriented languages. Okay, now when you are coming to object oriented languages, you have to learn the OOPS concepts plus again you have to learn something called exception handling. See, what I am trying to do is learning the doubt that you asked. I am trying to clear that in a very simple way. I am giving you the whole roadmap so that you can follow this. Okay, please go through this, and at the same time, you will really get an idea of how actually you should approach your placements. Okay, I can guarantee you, if you follow this approach, you can easily crack any interview. And believe me or not, this is not going to take you a lot of time. I can say that within 3 to 4 months, you can cover up this. If you plan your day accordingly, see right now you might be studying somewhere, right? You might be studying in some college. So in that case, you really have to focus on your studies only. Maybe Saturdays and Sundays you can go for some parties or something, but my main goal or your main goal should be to focus on your studies at least 5 days a week. In that case, if you really dedicate yourself for that, in 3 to 4 months you can get ready for any placement drive. I can challenge you for that. Okay, so what I was saying, in C language you don't have object oriented concepts, so you can go on with the procedure oriented concepts that you have everywhere. Okay, the basics. After that, you should very mandatorily run OOPS concepts and the exception handling concepts. Okay, because these are this thing, the exception handling concepts in all the languages are very different. The try catch blocks that we are talking about is different in C++, is different in Java, is different in Python, and also it is different in JavaScript. Okay, so I am not telling you to learn all the languages, okay, but for everyone you should always learn C language, because C is the mother of all the languages. So you should always start with C, then you should actually go on and determine which language you should be proficient enough out of any one of this three. JavaScript is not that mandatory, but I have seen in some companies they ask JavaScript also. So at least the basics, guys, at least the basics of all these languages you should learn, starting with C language. Okay. After that, with the passing of time, you will actually see that you will get confident in one particular languages, be it the syntax, okay, be it the libraries that we have, etc., etc., and it will become very easy for you to analyze. Okay, my language is C++. Okay, my language is Java. See, I have learned C++ also, I have learned Java also, I have been working in Java for the last 10-12 years. Okay. So, and even in my earlier days I have learned C++ also, because I had to make some projects on C++. So, it does not matter, you have to be versatile, because only thing that will change is the syntax, okay, and some libraries will be changing. So, you do not have to bother about that. Learn it with your heart and soul in one language, and you can go on to implement that in any other language. Hardly it will take you around 10 days to switch to another language, it does not matter. So, but for your placements, you should only stick to any one language. I am talking about the career path, okay. But in the beginning, you can just start with any one language, whichever you feel confident about. It can be Python also, it does not matter, okay. So, master one programming language, okay. It can be C++, Java or Python, okay, but begin with C only, because to learn about all the basic stuffs, how the input and output works, you should always do that in C. Fine. After that, there are some more concepts, say file handling. This is a very important concept. And then debugging. These things you should always learn in whatever language you are mastering. Please remember this, okay. After that only you should go on to learn data structures and algorithms. Fine. Now, let us go to how much of DSA is required, as the question was posed by learning. Okay. Now, after this, very important, your DSA always starts with arrays. Fine. The array concepts, 1D, 2D, then multi-dimensional arrays, and you have some very important thing called jagged arrays also. This is a very important concept, jagged arrays. Fine. And if you are learning it in C or C++, then you should also know very confidently you should be learning about pointers. This is a very important concept. And after that, for arrays you have array pointers. Make sense? So, this is how you should approach this. After that, after learning arrays, you should learn after every concept, guys. I am telling about each concept. After learning each concept, please make sure you learn and solve. This is very, very important. What happens, you know, we start learning DSA, we learn trees, graphs, etc., etc. We keep on going and going, but we do not solve problems. And after that, what we do? We have learned stacks and queues in the beginning. After that, we go to solve problems. By that time, we have forgotten all the concepts. That is the main point. So, this is a very bad thing that everyone does. Guys, even I was doing that while I was in my engineering career, while I was studying, because there was nobody to guide us about this. Okay. So, it was really a bad thing that we had done earlier. Now, I do not want anyone who is following our channel to do the same thing. Anybody who is learning DSA should be doing this every day whenever you are learning DSA. Okay. So, what you should do is, you should always solve coding problems after each concept. This is very, very important. So, as I said, arrays you finished, solve all the concepts of arrays. Solve problems, at least 10 problems on arrays. Now comes the question, where should you solve them, right? There are lots of online portals, competitive portals. You have the best one, that is LeetCode. Then you have Coding Ninjas. And last but not the least, you also have Geeks for Geeks. And to get the feel of a real-time interview, what you can do is, there is a timer on top. You can start the timer and you can start solving the questions, okay? So that you will know one thing, where do you stand? This is very important to understand. Where do you stand? How much of logic building is there in your mind? How much easily can you solve the questions? That will make you know one thing. I have to even work harder. Understood? So that is how you actually learn this. Got it? And as I was telling, after arrays, then comes your, because arrays will have lots of algorithms. So why not do that earlier? People do this, searching and sorting, they learn at last. You should not do this. As soon as you are done with arrays, finish all the searching and sorting algorithms. Searching and sorting algorithms. Okay, you can do that. So I hope learning you are following this and understanding. Did you understand what I am saying? My most important intention here is to pass on one simple information, that after each concept that you are learning, see, if you are learning Java from beginning today, after today, say suppose you have worked for 2 hours, solve at least 5 problems. Write code, practice writing code, that will help you to gain confidence actually. If you know the syntax in and out, it will be very easy and it will be very fluent for you to write the code. That is what I am trying to say here. Okay, got it? So, searching and sorting algorithms, let's do this here. Searching and sorting. I will just try to be very fast here. So, we have lots of the searching algorithms, say binary, we have linear, then we have jump search, then we have interpolation, okay, and so and so. Then we have the sorting algorithms. Sorting, we have say bubble, we have selection, we have merge, we have insertion. I am not writing all of them, I am just giving. Then we have the quick sort, okay, and along with all of them, please guys, learn the time complexity. Time complexity, the best case, the worst case, and the average. Okay, so all these things you have to learn. For example, the time complexity of merge is n log n. The time complexity of quick sort is also n log n. But in the interview, they will not ask you only the time complexity. They will ask you, how does it come? How do you derive that time complexity? What is the reason that it is n log n? This kind of questions will come. And some little bit of maths is also required for your placement types. So make sure you are learning those topics also. Okay, yeah, I think learning is actually listening. Thank you for listening. And I hope you are understanding all this. That is what I am saying. Learn all the searching and sorting algorithms. These are all actually the examples that I have given. These are actually comparison algos. Comparison algos. Okay. That means we compare the adjacent elements. There is some comparison. There are some non-comparison algos also. Okay. Let's talk about non-comparison algos. The two very important algos that people don't learn. The number one is count sort or counting sort. The second one is radix sort. These are the non-comparison algos. And for all of this, you have to learn the time complexities. And in this is very important, guys. Binary search. If you know binary search, you can solve your 80% of your interview questions. I can challenge you on this. There are lots of applications of binary search. For example, the first and last occurrence of a integer in an array, sorted array. Obviously, the binary search works on sorted array only, right? And the time complexity, it is log of n. Why is it log of n? The reason. And then there is something called binary search using recursion. All those things you have to learn. Guys, when you really try to learn algorithms, you will face issues. You will not be understanding, and the first thing that will happen is you will forget. I understand that it is logical and it is quite obvious, but the thing that will keep you motivated is, oh, okay, please remember this, and always practice more and more. Please practice more and more. The more you practice, the more you will learn, okay? Please remember that. So that is how we will actually do it. So after doing this, what next? After learning all the searching and sorting algorithms, and you can then go on to lead code. Solve some more problems. Go to Coding Ninjas. There are lots of problems on binary search, sorting, and etc. etc. You can go to that. After doing this, I am saying this, after each section you should always solve some problems. After that, you have the linear data structures. Linear data structures, what are those? They are stacks, queues, linked lists. Then we have linked lists, we have 3, right? Singly, doubly, circular. These are all the linear data structures that we have, and obviously we have completed arrays. They are also linear data structures. After that, let's go to the non-linear data structures. Non-linear data structures. You start with trees. Start with trees. In trees, we have lots of them. Which one do you want to start with? You should always start with binary trees. Learn the traversals. Pre, in, post order. All these things. These are actually DFS, depth first search. Then we have BFS. In BFS, it is also called level order traversal. Learn all this. After that, there are lots of different versions of binary trees. You have binary search tree, learn this. After that, you have AVL trees, or they are also called balanced BST. The height of the AVL tree is balanced. Okay. Time complexities, the time complexity is log of n. All these things you have to remember. And after that, what should you do? After learning trees, heap is also a kind of binary tree. It is called a complete binary tree. Learn this. And then after learning heaps, you can go on to learn this, yes, priority queues. And in between, if you are learning it in, if you are learning it in C++, you should be learning STL, standard template library. If you are learning it in Java, you should learn collections. It depends. Okay. So that is how you should do it. After that, after learning trees, you should go to graphs. Fine, you should go to graphs. In graphs, you should learn all the algorithms. You should learn the adjacency list, the adjacency matrix, and so and so. So with this, you have almost covered all the data structures. But in the middle of this, I am telling you repeatedly, solve a section, then go to the interview questions. You will get lots of interview questions in Lead Code and Coding Ninjas. Do it every single time you have finished a concept. Go there, search in the internet, and at the same time, guys, in the first try only, you will not be able to solve a question. Don't lose hope. You will never be able to solve it in one go. If you are really talented enough, you may be able to do it in one go. But sir, as a fresher, can we crack the placement without DSA? Without DSA, it is very difficult. I think it is VVV. without DSA it is really difficult to crack placements, because I am saying this, your placements now have a trend. They tend to ask you DSA questions more or less, okay, but sometimes if you are lucky enough, they will ask you questions on strings, they will ask you questions on arrays, they might not ask you questions on trees, they might not ask you questions on graphs. If you are lucky enough, it is okay, but you might not be the luckiest, right? In that case, you have to learn all these things. That is how we will do it. Got it? So, what I was saying about this, every single section that you learn, maybe it is a 2-hour session, doesn't matter. After that, take half an hour, solve some problems. And as I said, you might not be able to solve it in the first attempt. Don't lose hope. Maybe you will need help. We are there to help you, or else maybe you can take help from ChatGPT. Doesn't matter. ChatGPT uses is not a bad thing. You can do this, but if you were solving 200 questions using ChatGPT, the next question 201 should be solved by you. Got it? ChatGPT is giving you the solution. Maybe your friend is giving you the solution. Try to understand how he used this. What logic is he using? So by that time, by solving 200 questions using ChatGPT, you should not be just like a dumb and following that. You should be understanding what is going on in the back end. How is ChatGPT writing the logic? What is the intuition behind the question? Those kind of things you have to understand. So after that, the 201th question, maybe all the 200 questions are easy. It doesn't matter. Okay, when you have solved 200 easy questions, then the next question may be a very hard question, but you will be able to solve it. So always remember, step by step. This is very important, step by step. And I can challenge you guys, you can do this in 3 to 4 months. And after that, you can focus on your projects, your internships, if you are learning web development, you can go in and do that. If you are learning DevOps, you can do that. If you are learning cloud, you can do that. It doesn't really matter. But the most important focus should be learning DSA, not only for your placements. DSA is also used in your day-to-day life. You might be thinking, some people might have told you DSA will only be useful for your placements. It's not like that. It is useful if you know how to incorporate DSA in your projects, in the frameworks that you are building. So it is very, very important. So as I said, after graphs, you should go on to learn graphs, then graphs algos you have finished, okay, solve questions. And then after that, what you can do is you can go on to bit manipulations. Bit manipulations. And sometimes some people forget this concept. There is something called sieve of Eratosthenes. Sieve of Eratosthenes. Many people might not have ever heard about this. This is actually a sieve which will give you the prime numbers. You can go on and check in the internet. This kind of questions they ask you very frequently. People might not have even heard about this word, I can guarantee. Because these things will not be there in your syllabus. Guys, your syllabus is just to cover a certain criteria of the engineering syllabus. That's all. It is not helping you to get a job. Be sure about it. The extra hard work that you have to do on your own, and at the same time, we are here to help you out on this. The comment section is all yours. Put any kind of doubt that you have in your mind, whatever is coming to your mind regarding your studies, put that in the comment section. I or my team, anybody will guaranteedly reply back to you. If not today, at least tomorrow or maybe day after. But they will. And we are here to help you guys. So please, if anyone is new to the channel, that is how you motivate us, by subscribing. Okay? That is the least we deserve. And we will be very happy. We have been getting responses for live Java classes every day. We are planning on that also. So we will be coming very soon live every day. Don't worry about that. So till the time, for the time being, Saturday is live session. I have increased the timing also. We'll try to do my best. Okay. And right now I don't think any doubts anyone has. So I have the comment board there. I can see that there is no doubt right now. Okay. So what I will do is, I hope you have understood. Learn the concept, solve some questions, go on to the next concept. Learn the concept, solve some questions, go on to the next question. That is how you should be doing it. Okay. And after that, after doing this bit manipulations and all, then you have something called greedy algorithms. And there is one more concept. If you are learning C or C++, there is something called greedy alignment. People even tend to forget this. And there is something called padding. This is not padding from HTML, okay? This is padding in object-oriented programming I am talking about. This kind of concepts they will ask you in the interviews. Recently, last Saturday, this was asked in a college called RNSIT. It's here next to our office. Nobody answered this because they have not heard this concept. That's the main point. So you might be thinking DSA is important. Every single thing is important, but the thing is that you have to plan your time, when to start, how to start, that's all. Start with the basics, understand everything from scratch, then actually go on to learn the advanced concepts. Then it will be a very smooth flow of learning and understanding, and then it will really help you in your career, for placements also, in your near future also. That is how you should do it. Okay. Right now there is no comment. I think everyone is understanding. Guys, please give a thumbs up or at least say something if you are understanding or if you have any doubts. Then we can go on to the Java OOPS concepts. Okay. So OOPS concepts is also very important for your placement. So make sure you understand them properly. And I am here with the OOPS concepts now. So today we will be starting on with the OOPS concepts. So as I said, after learning all the individual concepts of basics, then DSA, then go on and solve around, let me delete this, then go on and solve around 20 questions from each section. Say you will get around 100 questions, 150 questions. After you have learned all the concepts, then go on with 20 questions from each section. Maybe from arrays, from strings, from graphs, from trees. There are lots of questions, and guys, we will also be coming up with lots of questions. Okay. And yeah, hi, XYZ says thumbs up. Thank you. So what we are trying to understand here is that this is the roadmap that will really help you to understand and crack your placement drives. Okay. If you are really lucky enough, they can ask you a simple coding question on strings or arrays. But if you are not lucky enough, you might get a question on graphs or maybe dynamic programming. I did not come to that. Okay. So DP, dynamic programming, is very important, and the main thing of DP is recursion. You should know recursion properly. So we will be coming up with a very good series in recursion and DP. Don't worry about that. We will solve lots of questions. And as I said, recursion, we will also learn backtracking. That is also very important. All the concepts you are going to cover, don't worry. And that is how you are going to be mastering your DSA for your placements. That is my target. And if you are really supporting me in this, I can guarantee that by the end of this Java live sessions, you will be having proper offer letters in your hand. Okay. Stay tuned, stay with us, and tell us any concept that you have doubts in. We'll come up with that. Okay. But I prefer going in a sequence. That's why I have started from the scratch. And now today I was supposed to start with the OOPS concepts, but I think someone had a doubt. So I have given you the roadmap of DSA, how it starts, how it goes on. And as I am telling you, when you are learning anything, learn the theory, learn the implementation, and go on to solving coding questions. Okay. There is Lead Code, there is Geeks for Gigs, there is Coding Ninjas, we have Hacker Rank. Any portal you want, you can follow. But most of the times, questions will be from Lead Code or Coding Ninjas only. So make sure you follow at least those two portals. Okay. If you have not started, just create an account in Lead Code and start solving questions today itself. You might not get the answer in one go. gradually keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning. You will keep on going on with that. Okay, fine. Now let's get on with our agenda of today, the OOPS concepts. So we were talking about object oriented programming. First, let's talk about the benefits. XYZ says, we believe in your processor. Definitely, thank you for your comments, guys. I'm very happy that we get lots of responders who are responding to our videos and liking our videos and subscribing to our channel. And you can bring up all your friends who are interested in learning stuffs. And you can see our C++ DSA live sessions have already started every day. And Ashank sir is also coming up with one special session on every Saturday. I will also try to come up with Java sessions every day, but for the time being, actually we also have our in-house placement training batches that are going on. So it is a little bit time consuming that is happening. We have our offline batches going on, and if you guys, anyone is from Bangalore, they want to join our offline batches, they start every 3 months. You can go on and join them. The number, everything is given in our YouTube description. You can go on and see that in the about section. Okay, so let's start on with object oriented programming. So let's talk about why object oriented programming. So object oriented programming is used to represent real world entities. This is very important. Some real world entities. Say I am talking about what to say, student. Say I am talking about a pen. It can be anything, anything from the real world. Say I am talking about a bike. Okay, or else say I am talking about what, something like a channel. We have YouTube, right? Let's talk about something like a channel. And all these entities have some properties of their own, right? The student, what are the properties a student can have? Let's not talk about very deep concepts. We will be trying to understand this in a very simple way. I can guarantee you, after learning OOPS like this, you will never forget them. Okay? Student, what are the properties a student can have? The name of the student. Maybe the age is not so important in the students. Okay, if it was a person, then the age will be very important. Say I will talk about the roll number. Okay, and then let's talk about anything else. Say the email ID. This can be important. Correct. In case of the pen, I will say type. It can be a ink pen, it can be a ball pen, it can be some other kind of pen. Correct. And then the color of the pen, red, black, blue, green, whatever it can be. And then the pen can have a price. Correct. I am just giving simple examples, guys, so that you can relate and understand. It is coming up in my mind and I am telling it. So in case of the channel, you can have the amount of subscribers. Got it? And what extra can you have in the channels? You can have the niche. The niche can be education, it can be entertainment, it can be anything, right? And then what else can you have? The location or the country, you can say. It can be anything, guys, any kind of properties a channel can have. Correct? And then I am talking about a bike. The brand of the bike, the model or the model number, the model number. What else can we have? The capacity, the engine capacity, the cc, or yeah, like let me say engine only. Got it? These kind of real world entities can be represented by object oriented programming concepts. So, the main entity here that you see, this is the channel, this is a student, this is a pen, this is a bike. All these things can be called a class. Got it? So, the most important entity in object oriented programming is a class, which is the main thing where we have lots of properties. So, these are the properties that I am talking about. You can see, right? I am highlighting them like this. These are the properties. I have taken three properties. You can take multiple properties that you want. See? Got it? Now, these are called properties, or they are also known as attributes. Okay? Fine. So, this applies to this also, this applies to this also, this applies to this also. Got it? So, every class has certain properties which will be given to the, given to the variables that we create of that class. Okay. Now, I am talking about variables, but actually they are called objects or instances or references. Okay. So, let me just drag it a little bit up and tell you one thing. And say I am writing one more thing. A channel. What can a channel do? I have a YouTube channel, CodersArcade. What can we do? We can go live. I am writing like this. Go live and giving a bracket like this. Okay. What can a student do? A student can read. Got it? What can a pen do? A pen can write. For example, just I am saying some concepts. What can a bike do? A bike can ride. We can go for a ride on a bike, correct? What are these called? These are actually some kind of behavior of the classes, correct? That's why they are called methods. Anything that describes the behavior of a particular class is called a method. Guys, this is the same thing as functions in C or C++, but because we are inside an object oriented language like Java, they are called methods. Okay? Method is defined as anything that describes the behavior of the objects or the variables of a class is called a method. Got it? Now, this is a method, this is a method, this is a method, also this is a method. Now, let us go even more deeper. Now, say I am creating 4 different objects. Okay, let me just reduce the zoom size so that I can, yeah, now it is better. So, what I will do, okay, now channel. Say I am writing the name of my channel only, CodersArcade. Subscribers, we have around 48k subscribers. Then the niche is education. Say I am writing CA, okay, and then the location is Bangalore, BLR, just for example, shortcuts I am writing. And here, in case of student, say I am writing Saurav, my name only, and that the roll number is say 123. Then I am writing email ID, saurav@gmail.com. Okay, got it. After that, here I have a pen. The type say it is ink pen. Then I have the color say red. Then I have the price say 20 rupees, for example. Okay, so here I am writing Reynolds. Got it? And in this case, the bike I am saying Royal Enfield. and then I am giving the brand, say yes, this is the brand. After that the model number, say 2024 model. After that the engine is say 350cc. So see how we can describe the properties. But does it mean that I can only have one YouTube channel of this channel? No, right? There can be lots of channels. Here there can be lots of students. Here it can be lots of pens. Here it can be lots of bikes. So what is the benefit that you are understanding here? The benefit is that once a class structure is created, you can reuse the code again and again. Okay. So that's the most important thing of object oriented programming that I want you to understand. The first thing that I told was represent real world entities. Number 2 is reusability. Number 3 is what? There is something called security. We will come to that. Don't have to worry about that. When you are learning the 4 pillars of object oriented programming, you will understand that. Okay? And there is something called reliability. And obviously efficiency. Okay. These are some of the properties of object oriented programming that you should be aware of and you should remember. Okay. Now let us do one thing. I have told you about the entities already. Class, then we have methods, then we have attributes, or we have properties, and the class references that we create are called objects or instances or references, or they are also called simply variables. It doesn't matter. Okay, we will talk about all this from scratch. Now let me show you a program where I am actually giving a practical idea of how these things work. Fine. Let me go to my ID, and here let's do one thing. Right click, I will just create a new package called oops. Okay, here I will create a new Java class, or let me just create a new Java class only, say student. We are taking an example of a student only. Okay, now try to understand this. This is my class student. Okay, now I have to design the properties of the attributes. So as I said, properties, attributes. And guys, if you really want dedicated notes on object oriented programming, you can let me know. What I will do is, I already have the notes. I will put them in a Google Drive link and share them in the comment section of this video only. If you need them, let me know. Otherwise, I will not do that. Fine. If you really need that, I need minimum 10 comments so that I already have written notes and ready notes on Java. If you really need them, let me know in the comment section. Minimum 10 comments will motivate me to think about giving the notes. Okay, I am really giving those notes so that you can understand that. If you really want that, you can help me out by telling them. And guys, if anyone is still new to the channel, just looking at the video and going off, this is not a good thing to do. Please subscribe and then let us know that what else do you need from us. We'll definitely come back to you with this. Okay. and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified about the latest videos. Okay, so as I said, let's assign the attributes. So I said name, right? Name is a string data type, so I'll take string name. After that, as I said, roll number, right? Int roll number. After that, we will have, as I said, the string email, right? I'm taking only 3, not more than that. Fine. And then now because we are learning Java, we should be knowing about one very important thing. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Let's go to the main function and try to create an object or reference of this class. Fine. So what I will do is I will write something like this. Just try to understand this. Okay. The syntax is very important. I have already told you this. Yeah, I think XYZ says notes. Sure. Let's see. I will really think about this, and by the end of today or maybe on Monday I will share you all the notes. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, and as I said, the syntax is class name object is equal to new class name with a bracket like this. This is the syntax. So the class name here is student. Student object, I will write S1, the first student of the class, is equal to new student. Fine. Now, by definition, an object is called an instance of a class. Okay. So let me give you the names here. It is called an instance, it is called an object, it is called a reference, it is also called a variable. All of these are same thing, but just to give it a proper terminology, it is called an object or an instance of a class. Okay, guys, all these are same thing, same names, only they are pointing to the same thing, but the names are different. That's all. Okay, so class name object equal to new class name. Makes sense? Now I will just say S1. If I press dot, see here, I am getting access to email, name, roll number. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am saying name is equal to, say, Saurav. Got it? Then after that I am saying S1 dot roll number equal to, say, 123, and I am saying S1 dot email is equal to, say, I am writing CodersArcade @gmail.com. This is our email ID. Okay, got it? Now I hope the screen is visible, guys. So better you create WhatsApp community. We already have a WhatsApp community, guys. You guys have to join this. Today I will do one thing. I will, after this live session is uploaded in our YouTube channel, what I will do is the recorded version of this will be uploaded in the YouTube channel. Okay, so what I will do is I will put up all the things, and guys, what I have done is, you can see this, I have created a proper playlist on, let me just show you here, YouTube Studio, or let's not go to studio, let's go to our channel. Here you can see one thing. Okay, I can go to our playlist and you can see one thing. It was not organized properly, so what I did, I have organized our playlist properly. Here you can see here all the Java live sessions. Right now this is the latest live session that is going on. Okay, you can see here from beginning, from the first session till here, everything is there in this proper playlist. Okay, you can go on and watch this sequence by sequence, one by one, so that you don't have to miss out on anything. So today in the morning only I arranged this so that it becomes easy for you to understand them. Fine. So let's get back to what I was doing. And as I said, I have manually entered name equal to Saurav, roll number equal to 123, and the third one, the email is codersarcade@gmail.com. Fine. Now what I will do, now I suppose need the details of these things. So as I said, we can create a method for doing this. So what I will do, I will just say public void student details bracket, and then I will say sout name plus, if I write name, sout roll number plus roll number capital R, right, and then I am saying sout email plus email. Okay, now I have a method called student details, which when called will give the name, the roll number and the email. Now let me just do one thing. As an object is an instance of a class, I will try to call with the object like this, s1 dot student details. Let me run this now and see what we get. See, the name, the roll number and the email ID. Got it? So guys, I hope you have understood the basic soup concepts, how you can create a class, how you can create attributes, and how you can create a method and how you can call that. Okay guys, you have to give us at least 20 seconds. I have to just change the battery of the camera and I'll come back. Just 20 seconds, okay? Done? Okay guys, is the streaming live again? Can you just give me a confirmation, yes or no? Just give me a confirmation so that I can start again in the comment section. I think yeah, Ritika Bhujwal has commented, yes sir, notes please. Yeah, even VVV is saying notes please. Definitely guys, I'll definitely give you notes on this, don't have to worry about this. I was just wanting to see some response from you guys, that's all. Okay, I hope I am live again. Okay, so as I said, I have showed you how you can create a simple class and then how you can create attributes of the class and then how you can create a method. So let me give you comments so that you can remember them properly. These are the attributes, so this will be the comments. This is the method, and then this is how we have called the method. Got it? That is how it is working. Okay, so definitely guys, I will definitely give you the notes, don't have to worry about this. By Monday afternoon you will get the proper notes till whatever we have covered now. Okay, that's a guarantee. I will do it, don't worry about this. Okay. And it is really a little bit hectic for us right now, because in the morning we are having offline batches and in the evening also we are having offline batches. We are preparing the students for DSA, so it is taking a toll on us, but I am promising you that every Saturday I am coming live with you on Java. I will do that every single Saturday, don't worry, and if it is possible I will come live on Java every single day also. But for that it is taking a little bit of time, because right now we are really short of time. So, but I promise you will come very soon live in Java every single day also. Okay. In the meantime guys, I also have one very important information for you, that our placement assistants have started. You don't have to pay anything right now. You can call on this number that I am sharing here if you want placement assistance. 8150 022 022. So we have tie-ups with lots of companies where we are sending our students for placements. Okay, the interviews will be dedicated to the concepts that you are learning every day, and it depends on you how you can crack the interviews, but we are covering up all the topics here so that you face the interviews in an easy way. And the thing is that you have to enroll into that through us. We will be sending you the Google form links, you have to just enroll through us. Okay, and in that case, if you get placed, you don't have to pay anything to us. We will be just providing you opportunities, and it is not for the currently 6th students, it is actually for passed out students. Okay, the graduated students already 2023, 22 and 24 graduated students. So that is a good news for you guys. You can just connect on this number via WhatsApp or call, and you can ask about the queries that you have. And also in today's live recording, what I will do is I will share you the link of the WhatsApp community. Okay, and also guys, we have our LinkedIn, we have our Instagram, we have our Twitter. You can follow us everywhere. We are posting latest data everywhere. Please go ahead and follow us everywhere. Okay, so I think by the time you have learnt about objects, instances, references or variables, these are the same things, right? And I have showed you how you can actually create a method like this and how you can give the method call. Now, as I told you, the benefits of object oriented programming. What are the benefits? I have created a structure. Right now, please remember this, a class is only a template or a blueprint to create objects. We created one object like this. See the syntax, class name object equal to new class name. Got it? Now, the thing is that I have created one object like this, S1. Right, this like this I can create multiple objects. Okay, I'll paste this here and let me say S2, and then here I will write say Ashank, and then let me say 124 and the mail ID is same. So here I will just change them S2, S2, S2 and S2. Now let's run this and see what we are getting. See guys, I have one student, I have the other student. What do you understand by this? Once a class is created, we can create n number of objects. That's the thing that I told you here. Reusability of the code, this is a very important factor. That is why we are switching to object oriented programming. C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, all are object oriented languages. Okay, so this is one of the most important benefits of object oriented programming. You can use the code again and again and again. Once a class is created, we can create hundreds of objects. But just remember one thing, when we create an object, can anyone tell me in the comment section, when we create an object, which memory does it occupy? When we create an object, which memory does it occupy? Who can tell me? Yes sir, can you send the WhatsApp community link? Definitely I will do that. Okay, and how much time should I spend on aptitude? XYZ says. That's very important question guys. That also I will come to. Okay, I will send you the WhatsApp community link, don't worry, and I will tell you about. Okay, XYZ says you are right. Okay, fine. Can you tell me guys this? Which memory space is taken by an object when it is created? In any language you can talk about, Python, Java, C++ or JavaScript. The object belong to the heap memory. Okay, the objects belong to the heap memory. So the more the number of objects, the less efficient is your code. Please remember that. So unnecessarily we should not be creating objects. Okay, so this thing you have to remember. So XYZ says, how much time should I spend on aptitude? Good question. Let's go to that. apti. Whoever is watching this live stream, I want to know one very simple thing from you guys. Can you go on to the coding round and the face-to-face round without clearing apti? Just give an answer in yes or no. I'm waiting for your responses. Can you clear the coding round and the face-to-face round without clearing the apti round? Is it possible? I'm waiting for your answer. Can we clear the coding round? Can you even go for the coding round and the face-to-face round without clearing the apti round? The answer is we can't. Apti round is the first round that you have to clear. So, how much time should you do to apti? Should you devote to apti actually? There are lots of sections. I might not be remembering all the sections, but I can say there is something called speed, time, distance. Okay. Then we have what to say, work. Then we have clocks. Then ratio proportion. Guys, the most important thing about apti is very simple. I love mathematics a lot. So for me, what I understand the formula. This is very important for me. Okay. Suppose you are going for APGP. What do you understand by that? Sum of n terms. You will say n into n plus 1 by 2. Formula is very important. If you know this, you can do it for any series. Correct? Then for this, say suppose you want to find the Sn, you also write like this. Sum of n terms is also written something like this. 2a plus n minus 1 into d. You write like this also, right? This is also a formula where you know that a is the first term and d is the common difference, n is the number of terms. So these formulas, if you remember, then solving the questions will become very easy. Speed you have upstream, downstream when you are solving river problems. So before even going on to the solutions, my suggestion is take a piece of paper and write down all the formulas. As long as you are not getting a job, stick this paper in front of your table. Okay, what will that do? Every day when you look at the formulas, you will remember them gradually. Don't by heart them. Try to understand how the formula was derived. That is how you learn them. Say suppose you are learning surface area of a cuboid. So you have to understand how a cuboid looks like. Then only you will be able to do it, right? This kind of things, how this comes, all these things you have to remember, then only you will be able to do it. So how this comes? The surface area is 6 into a square, correct? 6 spaces 6 into a square, like that. So if it was a cuboid, then it will be 2 LB plus BH plus LH. How is this formula coming? Those kind of things you have to understand, the volumes. So in apti you don't have to spend a lot of time, but take the formulas, then start solving the problems. At least for each concept, solve around 10 problems. Okay. By the time I am telling you, right, there is something, you have a website that is called Prep Insta. This is a very good website for this. What is this called? apti. And there is something called InstaBiz. There are lots of questions on apti. You can go on to that. But I am telling you one thing. Most important thing is knowing the formula. Knowing the formula and how to use that formula here in the question. And for that you have lots of things. apti, I think within 15 to 20 days you can master. If you are really serious about it and if you are really understanding and remembering the formulas. That is how you can learn this. Because without apti, you cannot go on to the coding round. You will not be qualified for the coding round, right? How can you even write the question? You cannot even hope of this, right? And similarly for the face-to-face round, if you don't clear the coding round, nobody is going to ask you questions in the face-to-face round. You will have to go back home, correct? So everything is linked. apti, if you clear this, you are linked to the coding, then you are linked to the face-to-face round. After that comes the salary negotiations and all, correct? So devote your time properly, plan it accordingly. As I told, This is what we had done while we were learning. I created formulas, and I think I still have a sheet in my home. All the formulas of apti, see, the formulas are never going to change. The logic is never going to change. So make sure you remember all the formulas. Okay. So let's get back. I hope XYZ. Hello sir, Python gamer is saying. Hello sir, DSA in CPP or Java? Same thing you are asking. Let me again tell you the same thing. In most of the placement drives, you will have one thing in common. Okay, you will either have C, you will have C++, you will have Java. These things are common. In almost 95% of the placement drives, you will have C, C++, Java, and somewhere along you will have JavaScript also, and then you have Python also. My suggestion is, guys, you can go on with any one, C++ or Java, it does not matter. You can go on with anyone, depends on one thing. If you are really good, you have mastered the language. You have to achieve mastery in that language. If you are talking about C++, you should know what is a vector. If you are talking about Java, you should know what is a hash map. You should know what is a hash table. So collections is very important for solving questions very quickly. In C++, STL is very important for solving quickly. Otherwise, you will keep on doing implementation of a queue by the time the timer will run up. Okay. So the shortcut data structures that are given, the built-in data structures, collection frameworks is very important in Java. So if you are really confident and you know that you have learned one language properly, then you can choose any one of them. I personally prefer Java because it is my favorite language, and that's why I am coming live in Java, obviously. But it doesn't mean that I hate C++. See, if my client tells me that I have to develop a project in C++, I have no choices. I have to work on that. So you have to be open-minded about that. As I told you, the basics of all these languages is very important. After that, you decide. If you are comfortable with the syntax in C++, learn the DSA in C++. But if you are comfortable with the syntax in Java, learn the DSA in Java. That's all. Because there will be no point in your career where people will come, why have you learned this in C++? Why did you not do this in Java? Nobody will tell that. As long as you were good with the logic, as long as you were able to solve the problems, okay, as long as you are able to solve the problems, nobody is going to question you, why did you choose this over that. So don't have to worry about this. Okay, you can learn in C++ also, in Java also, in C also, it doesn't matter. But the thing is that in C, if you learn, you will not be able to solve the object oriented concepts if they come in the lead code questions or in the HackerRank questions, in the competitive coding rounds. That is the problem. That's why you should always choose a object oriented programming language for your problem solving questions. Got it? I hope now it is clear. Python gamer, did you understand this now? Please let me know so that we can go on with the session. Okay. Now we have seen this already. Just see here, I showed you the process of reusability. Hope this is already clear to you. Now we can create n number of objects, and as I said, a class is only a template or a blueprint to create objects. Fine. And once the class is created, I can create n number of objects or instances. Here you can see I have created the student class, and based on that I have created two students, Saurav, then Ashank. Got it? So I can reuse the code again and again and again. Got it? But I can do one more thing. See, here I am manually entering all these things here. Rather than doing this, I can also create this using something called a constructor. Okay, we will talk about that in brief right now, but I just want to tell you what actually is a constructor. Okay, see, just remember this, guys. Whenever we create a class and we run it, what happens? It generates a bytecode, right? Let me show you here. It generates a dot class file, a bytecode. See, I will just delete this folder. Okay, you can see here there is an out folder. I will just click on this and delete this folder. Fine, I deleted this. Now what I will do, I will just run this file again. You keep a look on this side, again the out folder will be generated. Run this. So it is running, no problem, we got the output. So what I will do, you can see back, again the out folder has been generated. Guys, whatever I am writing here is called the source code. Okay, this is the code that I have written. I will not be sharing this with the client. What do you share with the client? You can see here in the out folder, we have something called production. Inside this oops, and inside this there is a student, this class. Similar structure, see this is the source folder, here I have student. In the out production, and this is the project name, then we have com java basics oops student. If I open this, can you see here, you can see something here, decompile dot class file bytecode version 61.0 java jdk 17. Okay, so let me open them side by side. This is my original file and this is my bytecode. I will right click and split this to the right. So from the top here, can you see any difference in both the files? Can you analyze and see if there is any difference? Both of you, both the files. This is student.java, the basic file that we had, and this is the bytecode file. You can see this is the bytecode. I am highlighting this here. Can you see there is one thing extra here? Who can tell me here? What is the difference? What do you see difference here in both of the files? I am waiting for a message. I am waiting for a comment. Who can tell me? Guys, can anyone tell me what is the difference between the .java file and the .class file? It's easy, you can see this, I guess. The difference is this extra thing. What is this? This is called the constructor of the class. This is called the constructor of the class. Okay, and you can see here, when we call the class name object equal to new class name, actually we have called the constructor of the class. This is called a default constructor. Okay, now what is a constructor? A constructor is a special function or method which is used to create objects or initialize objects of a class. Okay, there are two types of constructors. The default constructor, if we don't create a constructor, you can see I have not created any constructor here. So it was created by whom? The Java virtual machine, the JVM or the compiler. Okay, and if we create it, it is called a parameterized constructor. The default constructor is also known as no argument constructor because there is no arguments. Okay, so right now I don't want you guys to be confused with lots of information in one class. What I will do is, will be dedicatedly coming up with the constructor session in the next session, next live session. Okay, so for the time being, you just have to remember one thing. A constructor is a special method inside a class which is invoked whenever we create an object. You can see here, whenever we create an object. Okay, two types of constructors, default and parameterized. Okay, the default one is also known as no argument constructor. Fine. So guys, I hope you have had some really good information about object oriented programming in Java and also about how to get on with DSA in any programming language. If you really like the session, please, I want some comments about how the session was and what else do you need from us in our live sessions. And it was really good to have you in the live session. Till the next live session, this is Saurav who will be signing off, and I hope you really like this session and you have really enjoyed what we learned. Okay, thank you for coming live, coming with us in the live session. Thank you for enjoying this session and making it a really good one, an entertaining one, and engaging one. And I really feel motivated when people are commenting a lot of things. Okay, thank you for watching this, and till the next time, this is Saurav signing off. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel, CodersArcade, and commit to achieve. This is our punchline. You have to remember, commit to achieve. That means once you commit yourself to doing something, you will really get the results. Trust me on this.